Warriors, rise. I'm back. I am back. CJV, Coach JV. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to take some time off. I spent a week in solitude, really working on myself, and the message I'm about to share with you is going to be received by some and rejected by others. But as I've always said, I'm looking for the 1% who are seeking to understand what is actually going on within our physical world. And when they understand that, the only thing they need to do is change internally to affect the outside. That's it. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, warriors, listen to what I'm about to say. Now, I had everything prepared. I got back from Peru last night. I had everything prepared. I had all these videos. I had stuff from Russia, Ukraine, all this stuff going on, and none of it worked. So what a higher power, God, is telling me to do is just to speak to you from the heart. And I'm just going to speak to you from the heart on what is actually happening within the physical world through my eyes, not yours, through my eyes. And as I always say, I'm not asking you to trust a word I say. All I'm asking you to do is to listen and feel and connect with the internal vibration. So don't trust a word I say. Listen and feel how it makes you feel and act accordingly. Every single human being is having their own physical experience. What you're seeing playing out in the physical world is a cyclic thing with human beings. And it was very powerful to be a person who shares news and information to keep the people informed, to make an informed decision, to have us go to war with Russia while I was completely out. And I had to resist getting on this computer to inform the people, because I and my belief system should have nothing to do with your belief system. What I'm working to do is to show you that you are the power. But I'm going to take you through, just from my brain, because all my stuff didn't work, nothing worked. So I'm going to take you through the process I've been taking you through of what's happening within the physical reality. So we're going to talk about the SEC case. We're going to talk about ISO 20022. We're going to talk about the SWIFT system, and we're going to talk about the monetary system as we sit. So let's back up to the 1900s, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I believe is going to happen within the next 10 years. Your whole banking system, I've been telling you this, by 2025, your whole banking system is going to be completely different. I've been saying this before we knew we were going to war with Russia. I've been saying this before we knew the SEC case was coming. Everything I said has happened in the timeline, not exactly the timeline, but in the structure, because this is nothing new under the sun. So let's go back to the 1900s. In the 1900s, we moved from land to like industrial. We started moving to this progressive area, right? Where the richest people in the world were the people who own the land. And then the richest people in the world are now the ones who own the buildings and the infrastructure, the physical, right? Well, some of the richest people in the world changed our education system, our medical system, and our financial system. And you sit in that system right now as you speak. So imagine sitting in an old car right now. Now, what's happened is the roads, the infrastructure, and the rails have been completely changed. Okay, so now you're sitting in an old car on a brand new railroad train. It's a fast moving Web3, okay? And you're sitting in the old car. Well, what's happened is the only way for them, whoever they are, you have to decide that. I'm not going against anybody. I'm becoming one of the wealthiest people in the world. I will become one of the wealthiest people. Am I? Not even close, but I will get there, because it's internal vibration. Please hear me on this. Okay. So I moved into the other car, and I'm investing in the rails that they're creating as you're sitting in the old car. Okay. And I know a lot of you are moving over. So we moved up to 1971, right? So the same very, very wealthy people created the World Economic Forum, got the wealthiest people in the world to start to interact with each other, to come up with ideas through money and politics, which connect together. Those who control the money, control the information, control the people, right? The people who have the money put the people in politics. Those people in politics make the decisions that you're experiencing right now. And this is a very small percentage of the population. Well, also in 1971, after the World Economic Forum was created, we also detached from the gold standard. In August 1971, President Nixon detaches us from the gold standard, turning our country into a printing machine, also a debt-based society. So if I hand you $1, that is someone else's debt. So we've never been in a position like this in human history. The debt in all countries is huge, is massive. China, America, all these countries, massive countries that rule the world. We gave them permission to rule the world because we are all sovereign beings, okay? Those people have printed more money than in history. So now what you're seeing play out exactly, this is all the stuff I had prepared for you. And I told you guys the SWIFT system was changing as we knew it. ISO 20022, the new messaging system that's coming in, and I'm going to tie Ripple into this in just a moment. ISO 20022 is the new messaging system that's going to connect the interwebs or the banks all over the world in Web3 so that they can continue on this system. So we moved from stages of control, right? So after September 11th, we couldn't walk up to the gates at an airline anymore. We got used to that. We now get patted down and all this weird shit happens as we go because it's for our safety, right? It's always the safety problem, reaction. Whoever comes up with the solution is the hero. So now we're just going through that cycle again right now. So unfortunately, this is the really unfortunate thing. War is the third cycle. Okay, war. What they do is they shake up society. We had a big collapse in 2008, didn't shake it enough. Then we come into a preparation for a pandemic. They get us all to look this way. Mark my word, you're going to start hearing a lot less about the C word, pandemic, C word, and the V word. That narrative is going to start to disappear. And all you're going to see on the news is the war narrative. That's it. And all of a sudden, people are slowly going to forget about the C word narrative because it's all by design. I told you guys that the war was going to be monetary. And sure enough, the narrative right now is taking Russia off the SWIFT system. But if you go back to, I had all these documents prepared for you. If you go back to 2015, Russia was getting ready for ISO 20022. So Russia is getting up and running with the messaging system ISO 20022. You're seeing this narrative play out on the news, whatever narrative they want you to see. So it looks like China and Russia and America are all against each other. When warriors, these are egotistical human beings that are coming together and locking arm in arm, all the wealthiest people in the world, moving you into the new car that they already built the rails for. So let's go into Ripple and SEC. So I had a really cool video by Digital Asset Investor that he did with, I think it's John Deaton, right? And what's happening, warriors, I want you to think about this. This case, the SEC case, is lasting a lot longer than litigation cases with the SEC and a financial company. And the other cases that get settled a lot easier and a lot sooner are for very egregious activities. This is not an egregious activity. This is something where they deem some transactions as a security. It should be very simple, very cut and dry. But I've been telling you since day one, when people on December 20th, 2020, I think it was 2020, I was in quarantine. I remember that. People are like, you got us into, I didn't get anybody into Ripple XRP. I just tell you exactly what I do in my Warrior Academy. If you want to join our Warrior Academy, you can click the link down below or just go to 3twarrior.com. I show my exact portfolio, 130 cryptocurrency courses, a community, a tribe of people rising up into this quantum financial system. So I shared with people exactly what I was doing. Now, we've helped 4,000 warriors worldwide. I don't tell you what to do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. The reason why I stuck with Ripple is because think about what's happening. All of a sudden, Jay Clayton throws out a SEC case and then disappears 3-4 days later and joins a cryptocurrency company. Think about that, right? Brian Brooks was the head legal counsel of Coinbase, came over to the OCC, allowed federally chartered banks to custody cryptocurrency. Boom, takes off to a cryptocurrency company. Now he's already out of that cryptocurrency company. You bring Gary Gensler, the head of MIT for cryptocurrency professor, becomes head of your SEC. So now the narrative is war, and all you're focused on is war, and it's monetary, monetary, monetary. What this is going to do, this is going to exasperate, if that's the right word, make it go much faster, much, much, much faster, and they're going to move into regulation much quicker. So that's going to be the narrative. We have to move fast. We have to move furious into regulation. So now what you're going to see is a ton of FUD, warriors, tons of FUD. Many of you have jumped out of cryptocurrency, and that's okay. That's your personal decision. I am holding strong like a tick on a dog, warriors. I'm buying the dips, and I'm selling as it goes up with the exit strategy. You can get your exit strategy in the Warrior Academy, okay? But listen to me, warriors. This is all human behavior playing itself out. Let me repeat that. This is all human behavior playing itself out. This is nothing new under the sun. Let me repeat that. This is nothing new under the sun. What humans do is they repeat the same exact behaviors. They revisit themselves over and over again. What Putin is doing, revisiting himself over and over again. This is his human experience. Biden, he's revisiting himself, his own human experience. And humans do this over and over again. Unfortunately, is we don't think that we have the power, so we're actually living out their human experience instead of taking control of our human experience. Let me repeat what I just said. What we're living out is other people's physical experience. And you think you don't have the power to take control of your physical experience. Well, why is that? Let's back up to the 1900s, the indoctrination system. You were put into an education system that taught you how to be a worker, that taught you how to stay in line. For example, my son has straight A's in his kindergarten class, but they're like, oh, he's always stepping out of line. Who gives a fuck if he steps out of line? Who cares? He's got straight A's. The kid is like, this shit is boring, because I teach him how to learn. I teach him how to ask questions. When he says, hey, Dad, why is this? I keep going down the rabbit hole. But as parents, what we've been taught is you say, because it's always been that way. Well, you know what you're doing is you're teaching your kids how to give into authority that is doing something wrong. Just like when I was in banking school. So when my son asks over and over again, why? He's trying to learn. He's trying to create. And as parents, we say, because I said so. Well, guess what? Some of the things your organizations that you go to are doing shit that's really unethical. And because they said so, you're just doing it. I'm talking all organizations. I worked at a bank, and the things they were doing were not ethical. And I started to ask questions. And when I started to ask questions, people weren't happy. And I felt very ostracized. I felt very pushed out. But I kept asking questions, and that's what made me curious. I kept digging, and I kept digging, and I kept digging. And to this day, I've helped 4,000 wards because of my digging. Because I said, you know what? Just because they said it's supposed to be that way doesn't mean it's the right way. Because that's what we're living right now. We have decided as human beings to accept their living experience. We have decided as human beings to give away our power. We have decided as human beings to not understand that every single one of you has a decision to be wealthy. Every single one of you has a decision to be wealthy. Every single one of you has a decision to be healthy. And if you got something hereditary that has attacked your body and your immune system, you have the choice on how to react to that. You are all sovereign beings having a human experience. At some point, somebody figured out that if you can get a human being out of their creative state, outside of their fingerprint, outside of their DNA, you can control that human being. But today, we are taking our control back. Today, we are breaking free from this monotony, the news. Today, we are creating our own news. We have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. You can use it for good. People always say social media is destroying us. Bullshit. You're allowing it to destroy you. I use social media, I use YouTube, and I use all this media stuff to make myself more educated so I can inform more people. If you use it to watch pornography and play excessive video games and cheat on your spouse, that's you. That's a tool. It's a tool. It's the user of the tool, warriors. So we have to break free from this. So let's go back to the SEC Ripple case. So why is it lasting so long? And if you go back, God, I had all these documents, but if you go back, SEC cases usually don't last this long. But for some reason, the simple case that's very simple about Xrparmy being a security or not has lasted. And all of a sudden, we're starting to see Ripple starting to win right during the narrative with Russia and the SWIFT system. Warriors, this is all by design. All by design. You have to wake. You don't have to do anything. I have woken up to that reality. So my themes are going to become more intense. My themes are going to become deeper and rooted consciousness and speaking through spirit, guide, source, whatever it is. But whereas I put a lot of work in personally on myself, and I'm not asking you to do any of the stuff that I do. All I'm asking you to do is to trust yourself. All I'm asking you to do is to trust that you have the power inside of you to accomplish great things, warriors. You can do this. You can do this, warriors. So I'm back. I'm going to take some time to integrate back in. I went through a very deep spiritual journey for a week, and I need time to kind of integrate back. It's time to breathe. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. That's why I created my Warrior Academy, warriors. That's the number one reason is to create a community of like-minded people so you don't feel alone in this journey, warriors. So you can join 3twarrior.com. You can get all the information you need. We have so many great things happening. I want to thank, I want you to see the ecosystem. I have a massive team Warriors. And, you know, guys get to see me at the forefront, but I'm so honored that my team stepped in. If you haven't seen our show, 8 o'clock Arizona time, it's Good Morning Crypto. You're seeing our team come from the background. I have a massive team behind me, Warriors, and I'm very grateful. I'm emotional. I'm very grateful for every single one of them. But Warriors, you're about to see a man who has worked so hard to have an amazing physical experience. And I want to express that through love to you. I love every single one of you, even every hater that's going to comment down below. I love you so much. And if I ever met you, I guarantee I would hug you. I guarantee you wouldn't do the things you say to me in the comments and all the Instagram posts you put and messages. I guarantee that you would feel the love and vibration coming from my heart. You are great. You are powerful. You are amazing. So, Warriors, we're going to have some fun this year, 2022. We're about to light it up. So, yes, like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button, or you're probably not going to get this video in your feed. I love you. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.